Well, ladies and gentlemen, more good news. La Liga is returning back. Yet another league making a comeback after the coronavirus shutdown. And this is absolutely great news for soccer fans worldwide. But a lot has happened over the last 3 months, and a lot of us have forgotten what happened with La Liga. And today, guys, we're going to discuss what to look forward to with the La Liga season resuming back to business. Let's get this started, guys. That is right. Welcome, everyone. I am your boy, El Parcero, Philly United of all things sports and culture here in the beautiful city of Philadelphia. And before we get started, guys, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell button for notifications, as well as sharing this video and this channel to help your boy out. I would absolutely love if you guys could help me out. Of course, guys, the topic of today's video is the return of La Liga. Now, when it comes to La Liga, for me personally, it holds a special place in my heart. Growing up in the United States, but spending my summer times in Colombia, especially around, the late 2000s, early 2010s, it seemed La Liga was the league of choice outside, of course, La Liga Águila. And rightfully so. During the time La Liga was, experiencing some of its best times, I was in the thick of things of the Ronaldo, Messi, rivalry. Of course, El Clásico is one of the biggest if not the biggest rivalry soccer worldwide. And for Colombia, a league that spoke Spanish with a beautiful style of football, it is still probably the top league in Colombia and mostly Latin America. They do a really good job of advertising to Latin America, and it does help that, they do speak Spanish and they play a beautiful style of soccer or football. And yes, guys, I do have an Atletico Madrid jersey. This is a fake jersey. This is actually true story. My very first soccer jersey that I ever got. After Falcao signed with Atletico Madrid, which at first I thought he signed with Real Madrid. I remember I was in some restaurant in Buga. For all my Colombians who know where Buga is, I was spending the day in Buga with my family, and we had lunch. And I remember watching Caracol TV, the major Colombian TV network in Colombia internationally, and the headline Falcao to Madrid, and of course, when you think of Madrid, you're gonna think of Real first. So I was so upset that a fellow Colombian was going to a club that I did not like. I knew from the bat I did not like any top dogs, and I thought he signed Real Madrid. Later on, I got the confirmation that he signed with Atletico Madrid, and I already had an appreciation for Atletico Madrid. Getting into La Liga was the first league I got into as far as Europe goes. After my family told me about the Colombian game, I then knew that everyone was talking about Europe, whether it be La Liga, Premier League, Serie A, or Bundesliga. It was new. La Liga was the top league, so I always had appreciation for those early Diego Forlan and Kun Agüero teams with El Niño Torres just leaving before that, and then with Falcao signing, that hooked me up right off the bat. And luckily I got this jersey right on time as Falcao tore up La Liga and the competition in general, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun watching those Atletico Madrid teams, and I still to this day I still have an appreciation for Atletico Madrid. And putting on the shirt, I realized, do I want to wear a fake jersey? I know it's like my first jersey, and this has so much nostalgia. But did I really want to wear it? So I might have to buy me an Atletico Madrid jersey. So that should be coming soon. In the comments below, guys, if you are Athletic fans, my colchoneros, let me know what jersey should I buy. I'm hoping that James does get signed with that rumor lingering around that James to Atletico Madrid. I hope that is true following the conclusion of this La Liga restart, but we will see. But let's get into this, guys. So La Liga is expecting to start on Thursday, June 11th, with a great matchup to start off, with Sevilla facing off against Real Betis, and this is a very underrated derby. And to start the restart with this derby, taking a page out of the Bundesliga derby when the Bundesliga started off the restart with the rival derby, now giving us the Sevilla derby, something to look forward to. But we'll get to those matchups in just a second. But they're gonna come full force, and from June 11th to June 26th, we will have La Liga matches. So every day, it's going to be like baseball here in America in the summer. We're gonna have La Liga matches every day. And they're gonna try and get this season ended in less than a month and a half. So we will, with 11 games for 11 matches for most of these clubs. It's gonna be very interesting to see. But the 5 substitution rule definitely gonna help a lot of these teams. But I want to start off with looking at the tiers of teams. So let's look at the teams that are in that relegation battle, the mid-table team, the European qualifying contenders, and of course our contenders for La Liga title. To start off with the relegation zone, we're going to start with the 15th to 20th place. In dead last place, we have Espanyol, the other club in Barcelona, and this is a club that has survived the relegation zone the last last decade essentially. For a long time, I felt like they've just been lingering at the bottom half of the table, yet to get relegated. And it's so tough being Espanyol. You literally are under the shadow of Barcelona all year round. One of their young prospects, Marc Roca, is there, who is right now being heavily linked to Arsenal, and AC Milan seem to be jumping into the negotiations for him. But other than that, there's not really much bright spots. Maybe Wu Li, the Chinese international. Yes, Chinese international, the winger, is pretty exciting. The winger at 28 years old was a top scorer at his former club, Shanghai. It's going to be a tough battle for Espanyol to try to get out of the relegation zone. But with 20 points, to get out of the relegation, Espanyol are 5 points behind that. So it's going to be a very, very tough climb for Espanyol. In 19th place, we have Leganes, who have 23 points. And then in 18th place, we have Mallorca. And damn, it sucks to see Mallorca get back into La Liga to only be relegated again. Mallorca in a beautiful beach town, and as well have American owners. So I'm hoping that Mallorca can find a way to get out of it. And of course, they also have my boy Juan Hernandez, young promising Colombian forward. There's a lot of excitement on this team, and it's still very young, but hoping if they can find a way to get out. Mallorca have 25 points. In 17th place, we have Celta Vigo with 26 points, just a point ahead of Mallorca from that relegation spot. And for Celta Vigo, I'm hoping they can get out of there. I have my boy Jason Murillo, another Colombian defender, who got sent there in the winter window in the transfer period. So we will see what happens with Celta Vigo. I want my Colombians to stay safe in the top flight of Spanish football. What can I say? In 16th, we have Eibar, and in 15th, to round out these teams in the relegation frenzy, the little danger zone, we have Real Valladolid. Had some solid performances this season, but they haven't been able to string together some W's, so they're in a bad spot right now, and they're not too far off from the relegation zone. All right, let's look at the clubs in the mid-table. These are clubs that may still be safe from that relegation zone, but they probably have no chance of making a European spot in the final table. So starting with 14th place, we have Alaves. In 13th place, we have one of two Valencia squads in Levante. In 12th place, we have a surprise here in Real Betis. This was a club that we thought that would be in the contention for Europa League, maybe Champions League. The way they have been playing, but they have been inconsistent this season. Not looking so good in Rubi's first season in charge of Real Betis. We'll see if they can find a way to climb up and get into the one of those Europa League spots. They're 9 points away, but I think it's too far-fetched for El Verde Blanco. In 11th place, we have Osasuna. Yeah, so Osasuna has been a surprising club, to be honest with you. Did not expect them to be, floating around top 10, but they have been a solid squad this season. I don't know if Osasuna can make a run at a Europa League spot, but we will see. But definitely it's been fun to watch so far, Osasuna, and what they have done this season. All right, in 10th place, Athletic Bilbao, the Basque Country club. This is a club with a unique history. At one point was one of the top dogs, right behind, Real, Barca, and Atleti. But obviously they have been a stubborn team, sticking to their ways of building within the region of the Basque region of España. And, it's been tough for them to compete with the top dogs when, you can only find the best players within your region. And there's no Ronaldo or Messi's coming out of that region. So they're sitting in 10th place. They were in a nice run at one point in the season. They had a little unbeaten streak. Went on a little dip. And before this stoppage time, they did get 2 solid W's. So we will see what happens with this club. It's still always exciting, in my opinion, to watch Bilbao play. But I don't see Europa League, at least for this club, in their near future. In 9th place with 38 points, we have another surprising team in Granada, who surprisingly have been sticking around in the top 10, and we will see what they can do going forward. Damn, exciting teams. A lot of shifting going on in La Liga this season. In 8th place, we have the Yellow Submarine, and they are not too far off from the Europa League, but just too much competition up there. They do boast some exciting players. Like Paco Alcázar, after his fallout with Dortmund, is now with Villarreal, and he got there a little too late, but they're expecting him to be the workhorse and the workload for the goal scoring for Villarreal. Santi Cazorla is also still with Villarreal. For all you Arsenal fans who remember Santi, he's going strong. He's going strong. He's still playing minutes for Villarreal, and they still, of course, I got to bring up my Colombians here. They still have Carlos Baquita. Carlos Baca's still hanging around there. He's getting up there in age, but they still have him off, on the bench. All right, now let's move into the clubs that are in European competition contention, and we'll start off with 7th place, the other Valencia club, Valencia Club de Fútbol. Now, they were in Champions League this season. But they ran into the Cinderella story, Atalanta, who bounced them out the Champions League. So now their focus is, we don't really know what's going to happen with Champions League, but the real focus is on La Liga and trying to qualify again for a European competition, whether it be Europa League or Champions League. But I think they're too far gone from a Champions League spot again this next season, and it's just been tough. It's just been tough for Valencia. Balancing out Champions League, a European competition schedule with your domestic league schedule can be difficult, and they're running into that issue as well. All right, 6th place, man. We're gonna get to. Gotta talk about. Yep, that's right. Atleti. Los Colchoneros this season came in with so much hype. There were so many expectations, and it's crazy to think that after summer where you lose your best player and, arguably maybe top 5 best player in your club's history, Antoine Griezmann to Barcelona, you would think that they're going to take a step back, but they made some moves in the summertime to bolster this roster. Especially, when you bring in João Felix, you bring in a Kieran Trippier. A lot of people thought that the team that they had assembled at the beginning of the season was a stronger team than what they had any time in the past. Unfortunately, though, João Felix, we maybe put too much expectations and pressure on the youngster there, and he hasn't really produced to what we thought he would, or at least what he showed in the preseason time. For Atletico Madrid, they just have had troubles of attacking. If Alvaro Morata is not on, they really have been screwed when it comes to goals. So it's really unfortunate to see. And right now, they're in danger of not even qualifying for Champions League, and that will be very detrimental. It's a tight battle. They're not out of it by any means, but they really got to get their shit together. And luckily in Champions League this season, whether we get back to it or not, they did eliminate Liverpool, so that is a plus. They knocked out the champions, so it hasn't been a terrible season for Atletico Madrid, but they need to get back into Champions League for next season. Who's ahead of Atletico Madrid? Well, in 5th and 4th place, we have 2 surprising clubs. In 5th place, we have a Madrid team, but it's not Real Madrid. It's Getafe. What? This team that's always forgotten in Madrid. A smaller club in Madrid. Remember those Burger King kits? Those are some nice ones. But anyways, Getafe. And it's not even like this team is bolstering like some up-and-coming young studs. No, some of their best players are in their 30s. Yet Getafe are in 5th place right now. That'll be interesting to see. Definitely a nice little story going on there in Madrid, but Getafe at 1 point ahead of Atletico Madrid. and with 46 points. And then in fourth place, we have one of the most exciting, I'm saying the most exciting young squad in Europe, and that is Real Sociedad. This team has really turned a lot of heads, and their exciting style of play. Their manager, Amanol Alguacil, has absolutely done a fantastic job with this Real Sociedad club. This is a guy who's come all the way up through the ranks of Real Sociedad as a manager, and it's paying off. For all you Arsenal fans, Nacho Monreal is playing for Real Sociedad, but Martin Odegaard is the one player that everyone has got their eyes on. He's probably their best player, and he's really been an absolute stud for Real Sociedad this season. And in third place, we have Sevilla Football Club, and this is a shock to me. So they have appointed Julian Lopetegui, yes, the controversial Lopetegui, former Spanish national coach and former Real Madrid coach, and he has finally found a team who's playing the way he wants it to, and he's got this team already in third place, 47 points, and they're playing great football with Luke de Jong. You have former AC Milan Suso. Ever Banega is manning that midfield perfectly, and Jesus Navas is also back in Sevilla after his couple year stint with Manchester City. He's back with Sevilla, and he's not the same young guy, but the man has still got some speed playing at a fullback position now. And listen, as an Atletico Madrid guy here, it'll be very tough to get in these top four spots when you got Sevilla and Real Sociedad playing in tip-top shape. All right, guys, let's move now to the final two teams, and they are the contenders. And listen, at the end of every La Liga season, we expect these two teams to be here, and it's Real Madrid and Barcelona, the two top dogs in La Liga. And right now, we have Barcelona at the top of the table with 58 points, and Real Madrid are right behind them with 56 points. Now, Barcelona going into this season, they were expected to not only win this league, but be a Champions League contender. We will see about that. They still got to face Napoli. But when in the summer, they felt like they finally found the replacement for Neymar and signing Antoine Griezmann away from my Atletico Madrid. A lot of people thought that they would be the dominant team, but they had troubles of trying to integrate Antoine Griezmann. He hasn't really fit in the same way that he did with Atletico Madrid. And I think partial why that is I think he's best suited in a 4-4-2 as one of those holding forwards. Right now he's playing in that 4-3-3. I don't think Griezmann was ever a winger. Maybe a little bit younger, but what I've seen in the past couple seasons with playing with Athletic, playing with the French national team, he needs that freedom. He needs to playing as one of the like holding forwards. In a two forward set, he gets a lot of freedom and he can either pass or take the ball in himself, and he's great at that. But forcing him out on the wing, because obviously they want someone to pair in that line with Messi and Suarez, and it really hasn't worked out. It hasn't been too comfortable for him. And that's the other problem too, is that Luis Suarez has been hurt, but he should be back once we get started to play. And the defensively, they haven't been too disciplined as well, but Ter Stegen he's still a beast. He's definitely still one of the best goalkeepers we have in the world. I also think that there's just been too many inconsistencies within the midfield there as well. But regardless, I think that they have this snide over Real Madrid. When it comes to Real Madrid, Zinedine Zidane has continuously proven to us that he is one of the best managers in the world right now. Although this team is not competing for Champions League, remember where this team was right after Cristiano Ronaldo left, and what happened last season. This is like an absolute free fall. And once he came in, things started getting a little bit better, and now he's had this full season under his slate. This is truly his team. Do what he wants with this team. There's still some good young talent like Rodrigo or Vinicius. And the plus is that you will get Eden Hazard to come back healthy after we thought his season was over, but the coronavirus shutdown did help him in healing, and Karim Benzema doing his thing. Don't count out Real Madrid, but I think that with the firepower that Barcelona has, I think that they will take these La Liga crown yet again. But that's just me personally. And I think that when we look at all these teams and what will happen going forward with this restart of La Liga, we gotta look at the Bundesliga. And with the Bundesliga restart, what we noticed was the teams who have the talent, who have the star power, who have chemistry, those teams have done pretty well. Bayern München still doing its thing, Borussia Dortmund still doing its thing. But then you had clubs like Mönchengladbach or Leverkusen, still playing well, but then they had those slides as well. Leipzig had that problem as well. Who will beat Hertha Berlin, who before the restart, they were not going in the right place, put together some good results, and now are in the top 10 and maybe fighting for the Europa League. Kill Real Betis, find a way to get out of this snide that they were before this and become that Hertha Berlin. Maybe Bilbao, we will see, but these are different things that we have to look. And the Bundesliga is going to be the model, not only what goes on the pitch and obviously off the pitch, with the testing of the players and making sure everyone does their social distancing. All right, so now what we'll do, guys, we'll just look at these matchups. What I'm going to do is we'll look from Thursday until Sunday. I think that on Monday was when we restart the teams playing again. But on the next 4 days, in those 4 days, I'm going to look at those matchups and tell you my predictions of what will happen. So starting off on Thursday, June 11th, we have, like I said, the Sevilla derby, Sevilla versus Real Betis. And, Russ is going to be an issue, but like I said, those clubs that have the talent, have the chemistry, I think will do best here. I think Sevilla win this match 2-1. Now let's move to Friday. We have Granada facing off against Getafe, and this is going to be an interesting matchup as well. Like I said, these are two surprising, exciting teams. I think we will see a draw here, a 1-1 draw. Later on that day, we have another derby here. We have the Valencia derby, Levante first facing off against Valencia. I think Valencia will take care of business though. I see a 3-2 victory there for Valencia. All right, Saturday, June 13th, I'll start off with Espanyol facing off against Alaves. And we talked about Espanyol in that dead last spot. Can Espanyol find the way to get that quarantine shut down, a boost of energy, and play a little more inspired? We will see. I personally think I see a draw here. I'll go a 2-2 draw between Espanyol and Alaves. Okay, the next matchup, we have Celta Vigo versus Villarreal. I think a lot of these matches will be grinded out type of plays, but I think that Villarreal will get the victory there. I see a 3-1 victory for Villarreal. All right, Leganes and Valladolid. I personally think Valladolid will win this one. I got a 1-0 victory for Valladolid. Saturday, 4 o'clock, will be the matchup everyone's going to be wanting to watch. Barcelona on the air facing off against Mallorca. Mallorca in the relegation zone. I think that Barcelona, unfortunately, they'll run away with this. Messi is actually dealing with a little bit of an injury. We will see if he will be fit for this match. But I think in the first match, I think he'll find a way to get on the pitch. With Messi, I see 4-0. Without, I still see like a 3-0 victory here for Barcelona. All right, let's move on to the last day, Sunday. Athletic Bilbao facing off against my Atletico Madrid. And this is going to be a telling match. We will see how Atletico Madrid handled the shutdown and whether they will come into form. But I am going to believe that Cholo Simeone will find a way to get this club ready. I think that they will win this match. A 2-1 victory for Atletico. All right, Real Madrid versus Eibar. I think Real Madrid take care of business there. I see a 3-0 victory for Los Blancos. All right, last matchup, we have Real Sociedad versus Osasuna. And I'm a buyer of Real Sociedad. I think that they are as advertised, and I think that they will get the W here. I think they'll find a way to get the victory. It'll be I'll say a 2-1 victory as well here for Real Sociedad. Again, I think there's going to be a lot of rust be shaken off in a lot of these matches, similar to what we saw in that Bundesliga restart in that first week as well. Guys, those are my thoughts. Thanks so much for watching, guys. It really means a lot to me. Another soccer league is back, and it means we're getting closer back into sports, and it means I'm going to get back in grinding into gear and get everyone in Philly involved in what's going on in the world Soccer will be back before the American sports, so why not watch it? It's exciting product out there, so definitely watch it out there, guys. Again, help your boy out. It would mean the world to me. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell button for notifications, as well as sharing this video and this channel to help your boy out. In the comments below, I want to know from you guys your predictions on these matches, and give me your team. If you are a La Liga guy or girl, give me your team that you root for, and what you are looking forward to in the restart of La Liga. Until next time, guys, I go by the name of El Parcero Philly. I will talk to you guys